I know. Thanks, Arun, for that elaborate also. And I guess, of course, this one is a bit actually it's very deep philosophical. That we have to go. We don't have time. I mean, just that. But sorry, just that. Kalau the Islam is very safe, very safe in the sense that. So who's your God? The God that created me, lah. Simple as that. to the same God I will return to. I mean, we don't put that. That's the kind of thing, lah. I mean, so in a certain sense, it's always that unifying everyone, That kalau you get me, everyone is the same. So which God? The God that created me and this whole thing, they cannot become here from nothing. You get me? So in a certain sense that even macam Arun cakap tu, dia malu nak tolak Arun Hindu whatnot, because in certain sense that we are that's the universality, the brotherhood that we have. That the moment that people create, you will create sex and division and whatnot. We can fight and stuff like that. Okay, I mean, of course, I respect whatever that your belief and whatnot. There's no problem. We can always agree and disagree on that. To me, that is how Islam see it. I'm sharing with you. Okay, we go to the we got less than half an hour before we go off. Because to me, at the end of the day, kita memang, we are all different. But I welcome any kind of dialogue, respectful dialogue, that kind of thing. To me. Yelah, kalau you understand macam Islam, sorry, there is macam, I think kita tak banyak habis. I want to talk about reincarnation, the purpose of life, the social issues and stuff like that. Okay, man. I just probably, who's this? Nages pun mau cakap pasal common misconception on Hinduism. You please, man. We got, Arun is very busy, man. He cannot go on. Yeah, go ahead, man. I guess.
Okay.
Probably some misconception.
Common misconception. So just now, macam tadi cakap lah, kita orang Hindu sembah patung. Itu satu tadi yang kita sudah clear. Kemudian misconception tadi itu sembah banyak Tuhan. Itu pun tadi kita sudah clear. Okay. Satu lagi yang selalu blame Hinduism ialah kasta, sistem kasta. Okay. So every time they said kalau tengok betul-betul sistem kasta ni kalau kita rujuk semua kitab-kitab Hindu, tak ada sebarang satu kitab, satu perkataan yang merujuk kepada perkataan kasta. Tak ada. Zero. Sebaliknya, perkataan kasta itu berasal daripada perkataan Latin yang dibawa oleh Portugal semasa mereka menjajah India. Okay? Kalau tengok rujuk, orang selalu kata, sistem warna itu kasta, jangan tipu. Dia kata macam tu lah. Sebenarnya warna, kalau tengok warna ni, warna itu datang daripada sistem pendidikan zaman awal. Iaitu, kalau tengok betul-betul mereka yang lahir dalam keluarga tertentu, mereka akan pergi belajar. Selepas dia habis tamat belajar, lepas tu baru dia akan certified sebagai sama ada Brahmin ke atau Kshatriya ke ataupun Vaishya. Kemudian siapa-siapa yang tak belajar, tak pergi langsung, dia kekal sebagai sutera. So ini satu konsep, dan dalam kitab-kitab agama Hindu, dia jelas kata warna ini berasaskan kepada guna and karma. Guna means dia punya kelakuan, dia punya karakter, and then dia punya karma itu dia punya perbuatan. So tak ada mana-mana tempat dalam kitab Hindu kata warna itu daripada kelahiran, tak ada. Tetapi kasta itu daripada bloodline, daripada blood purity, ini daripada perkataan Latin. So dua perkataan ini selalu disalah tafsir sehingga kita nampak seolah-olah hanya agama Hindu endorse kasta. Sebaliknya kalau tengok betul-betul, sistem kasta ini diamalkan oleh manusia di seluruh dunia. Kasta itu sama ada dia untuk menjaga dia punya status quo, untuk menjaga dia punya hak-hak tertentu, ataupun dia untuk depress ataupun deprive hak satu kumpulan lain. So that is what kasta dalam konteks. Kalau kita rujuk kamus pun, kamus kata begitu. So ini satu misconception yang sangat-sangat salah. Sebab dalam agama Hindu, dia kata Tuhan, Brahman ada dalam setiap individu. So kalau Brahman ada dalam setiap individu, maksudnya dari segi kelahiran, setiap manusia adalah sama. Hanya perbezaan dia dari segi dia punya karakter dengan dia punya kelakuan. Alright. So kalau tengok konsep yang selalu kita dengar Vasudhaiva Kudambakam, maksudnya semua orang adalah ahli keluarga yang sama, ahli keluarga yang sama. So konsep ini ya selalu menjadi misconception lah dari segi kasta. Selain daripada itu kita boleh lihatlah lain-lain misconception yang kecil. So major yang 3 perkara ini, tadi yang kita bincang actually. Okay, nanti boleh
Okay.
tambahlah kita bertambah.
Terima kasih Nagis. Probably you just talk about a little bit of social issues. So Arun, so how Hindu sees macam alcohol, gambling, is that okay? So macam you check out, is there any objective wrong or no on that thing? And probably LGBT, sex before marriage, and probably materialism and stuff like that. So that is one. How you see this kind of, in probably in Hindu, is there, what is your most number one social issues that you're having now?
In Hindus, okay, just before I progress to that, so let me quickly add to the alcoholism. So a lot of people have the misconception the Hindus is okay to drink. Yeah, there are a lot of Hindus drink, and a lot of Christians also drink, and a lot of people do drink. But Hinduism do not condone drinking. Okay, so of course, in Hinduism, whenever you enforce certain things, we don't enforce like a black and white. We always advise it is better for you not to drink. Okay.
Sorry, Arun. Sorry, is there any says anywhere in your religious scriptures to say you cannot drink?
It is of course mostly my things I refer to Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so Lord Krishna have clearly said he advised what they call madhu. Madhu mean alcohol, yeah, which will impair your thinking process. Yeah. So that is not advisable. Okay, so that is one. And then it goes also gambling. Okay, we have a lot of Purana stories, and also even Bhagavad Gita. The whole war started from the gambling. I mean, the evil gambling they had and things like that. So all those stuff they have actually showed how to keep yourself away from alcohol and gambling and things like that. And then you came to a very, very taboo question. Okay, LGBTQ. Whether Hinduism condones such a LGBTQ. Hinduism believe in the natural order of human being, and the third gender, it is the transgender. We in Tamil we call it Tirunangai. It is always been recognized. Matter of fact, in the during the war of Ramayana, Mr. Nagesh, you can correct me. One of the battalion that was representing Ravana was battalion of Tirunangai. Okay, and upon submitting to Lord Rama, they will ask Lord Rama to kill them and give them moksha. So and Lord Rama was asking this battalion, why you wanted to, I mean, I've forgiven you, you can go about your life. And the Tirunangaisa, the transgender said, no, the world is seeing us very differently than the normal people. At that time, Lord Rama said, from now onwards, you can go to all the Hindu homes and you can get Kanike, meaning you can get a divine gift from each and every Hindu households after you bless them with good things. So Hinduism always have recognized that to gender. Matter of fact, there is a form of Shiva and Parvati, we call it Artanadi, where half of it Shiva, half of it Parvati. So we have. So LGBTQ, it is not a matter of contentious. It's the natural order of a human being, and every form of human being is a creation of God, and God never erred in His creation. That's what we believe. Okay, so that one to clear that that particular thing. If there is a talk on LGBTQ, I probably can do a 1-hour lecture on that Hinduism perspective. And now come back to your other question. I forgot your real question.
So basically in Hinduism, whether you allow gay sex in that sense. My question also, gay and lesbian as well. I mean, the third, of course, God was created like that, so there's some issues. We also, I think, believe in this similar thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, say again, I don't want to go into very specific whether God allows this or not, but I can tell you this much: God never erred in His creation. So the person that is queer, that is soft, also a creation of God. The person that born transgender or binary, also God. So they all creation of God. Again, the problem of us accepting others is when we think we are right. So when the heterosexual think they are right and everything else is wrong, that's where the idea of accepting comes in play. When we not even tolerate, when we accept everyone in the form there is, then there's no problem. So Hinduism do accept because we believe the Creator never erred in His creation.
Okay, Nages, you want to add? Sorry, on that thing, whether you agree to that conception? Yeah.
Okay. The first one regarding the marriage of LG. Okay. If we check the scriptures, there is 8 types of weddings. There is 8 types of weddings can take place, and all 8 is referring to male and female. They never mention about the third gender. So in that sense, we can say Hinduism never approved marriage between the same sexes. Okay, that is the first one. And then at the same time, Hinduism or in our system, we never deny the existence of these people. Okay, because we believe this is part of their karma, and then they have to go through that. So I think that part, I think enough to answer that part. I come to liquor. Actually, there is 2 types. One we call soma, and one is called sura. Okay, soma is the drinks which we serve the gods. Okay, and then the sura actually is also never approved in a sense of prayers. But you see, in the Hinduism, we believe not in this world, not only God, it is also some underworld entities. Everything is there. Everything comes under the God's creation. So we human, just now I told you we got the 5 compulsory duties. So one of the duties is we is supposed to give what is due to the Buddhas. We call Buddhas the underworld entities. Okay, so in that sense, so that is sometimes that ancestors worship, and then sometimes some Hindus go to that busut ula, so they serve that milk, all that. So this kind of prayers comes under this. So as a human, we got a duty where we what is supposed to do to them. Because they also part of this nature. Without them, certain things doesn't happen. Because we believe, in Hinduism believe both devas and asuras both need to
Correct.
make sure the universe go into harmony. That is what a part of the system.
Okay. Arun, are you okay with that? Hinduism doesn't approve any gay marriage, or is that okay with you?
Let us now see. Sharul, you're looking for a definitive answer. In philosophy, there's no things called right or wrong. Okay, it is justification. Like what Nagesh said is true. It's 110% correct. He said there's 8 types of marriages. Okay, all those marriages that was referred to is the marriages between a male and a female. But at the same time, there was no other things that prohibit. Again, me with a legal background a little bit, I would say whatever the law did not prohibit, it permits. So what I'm trying to say, okay, I'm not going into the marriages and sex and all the other stuff, but I'm saying the LGBTQ, their creation is part of their karma, and the existence of them, it is the creation of God. Let's put it that way. And who are we to accept and deny anyone's existence?
No, we
That's
can't.
true.
very-
I agree with you.
So
No.
who are we? And the problem is, and again, most of the problem with the religion and with the politics, everything, when I think I'm correct, the other person wrong. I'm correct. You also could be correct. Probably your datum, your platform or your POV, your point of view, probably from different thing. If we only adopt such perspective, then all of us can coexist in a harmony. There's no such thing called like even in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna clearly said there's no such thing called absolute truth other than Dharma itself and him, because
Okay.
the truth is, is like this lah. You have 5 people that the one blindfolded touch elephant, one touch the trunk, one touch the tail, one touch the leg. All of them will say, for me, the elephant looks like a trunk, or looks like the tusk, looks like the leg. But all of them correct, but they are not absolutely correct. So like that. If you understood what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, that is a quite common analogy given by atheists actually. So which religions are correct? So basically, if you pegang tail, basically God is like that. If you pegang depan, you'll be like that. So that's quite common analogy now. Actually, really use that now. They say pink elephant. You know.
Actually, I prepared the photo.
Sorry?
Yeah, because even in the Hinduism, it says you might have a million ways of reaching to God, but important thing, your journey that you take to reach God is between you and God.
All right. Okay.
Go back
Just
to the thoughts.
Okay. No problem with that. I mean, one thing that we must make clear is that we cannot judge people. Only God can judge people in that sense. I mean, that is the basis of anything. It's just that probably from my own perspective, you say you subscribe to certain things, say Christianity, Hinduism, or Islam, so they have certain things that you have to do. So otherwise, if you think you want to follow certain things and you want to abandon certain things, in certain sense, you creating your own, sects of, I allow this kind of thing. So that's why we have quite many in that sense. No, this is our view, and of course we can disagree on that. So how about sex before marriage? Can you do that in Hinduism?
No.
Huh? No, cannot. Okay.
Of course cannot.
I don't know. Maybe just
It's definitely definitely that is not. It's a no-no.
Okay. It's a no-no. But it's just that if but we see. Macam you cakap mungkin but you see so many macam Hindu, they drink. In fact, they not only drink but they also sell alcohol. To me, that is even, kalau drink tu mungkin you are tempted to drink, you drink, okay? But if you are actively selling it, it's not really that you are, you think that it's okay lah. So how do you see that?
It's exactly like this. Not everything ethical is illegal.
Not everything ethical is illegal.
And see, selling alcohol or all the stuff is not ethical. Okay, you might not it does not meet the threshold of ethical, but it's still legal. So, and again, I definitely prescribe to a personal freedom of choice. Okay, your religion should give you a guideline, like what Indu said. Okay, we advise you to do this. We advise you to do this, but whether to do or not should be left to you to decide, as long that is not illegal in that particular place. So that's that one. I really prescribe to that very dearly, because I believe in a personal freedom and freedom of choice, and people must be held accountable for their action. Like what it says in Hinduism, your karma decides everything. Your action decides everything. So likewise, so there's a lot of Hindus like to drink, and there also big number of people don't drink. All right. So that's, again, they know what's right, what is wrong. They can make the choices. And like what, don't lie, don't steal, don't be jealous, don't be greed, don't be angry, and all the stuff. All these things is advice upon people. But again, whether for you to take it in your personal journey towards, personal journey in your life, or for you to set aside and put your own path is up to you. Again, the consequences will be borne by you and you alone.
Okay, thanks. I totally agree in that sense. That's why, I mean, we also subscribe to that. At the end of the day, you must be responsible of your actions, you know. Okay, that's okay. So what are the repercussions whether you, you know, you subscribe to the, you be basically a good Hindu and not good Hindu? Is that the concept of, you know, the reincarnation, we keep on, you know, rebirth into probably a lower form, you know, and probably, you know, basically that's basically the end goal of Hinduism, the concept of, I mean, salvation of the end goal of Hinduism. I mean, I guess can add to that.
Okay. So regarding the rebirth, okay,
Sorry?
as at the atmic level, an Atma have to go through about 8.4 million lives rebirth. That means the Atma is born as a small atom, and then from there it grows into a worm, or born again and keep on born again until they take the human birth. So human birth is one of the hardest reincarnation Atma can take. So this is what the scripture says. Okay, as born as a human is about 7 lives. In some scriptures, they mention about 14 lives. So we don't know exact which one, but it is among the 8.4 million births and deaths. So as a human, that's why it's the hardest thing to be born as a human. So Hinduism believes if make use the good use of the birth of human. So make sure, because only human able to think about a God and pray God. No other birth. Okay. So the Atma will go through a process. Judgment day. Okay, now, like Christian, Muslim, they got a judgment days, right? But in Hinduism, our judgment day is the moment the person died, the Atma will go through the judgment, and from there, they will go to Yamaloka, and from there will be decided whether they will go to hell, heaven, or they will go to Devaloka, or as a punishment will be born as an animal, plants, or you return back as a human, continue your next journey. So this is the concept of rebirth in our system, Hinduism.
All right.
Okay. So
Okay.
if everything completed, the person go to become unite to God. We call it moksha. Okay?
Correct. Sorry. Okay. I just want basically we are there already. Most fun. I just want to answer just one question, because Arun asked during that, I think 6th of February. Right. How that about conversion that you what's your question like? I mean, that there is that question, and also I think NAGES also there is a blog that you write, a conversion is a sin. Probably you can elaborate on that. Start from you, Arun. What did you ask just now? But we cannot take that question. So this is basically last, and you can wrap up. Yeah. Okay.
I think this is probably towards the last of the talk. So I think what is more important, the common denominator between all beliefs, all faith, is humanity. Humanity, service to humanity, the love to humanity. So that is what important is. What happened in the later, in the recent years, in the recent decades? Okay, of course, poverty has always been the humanity's challenge since the beginning of the time. But right now, lot of faith, a lot of missionaries have used service to the poor lot of the humanity to convert. So that is something that I call it unethical conversion, and this has been very prevalent in the recent years, where they use people's poverty, use people's ignorance to convert. So I think religion is never about converting, it's about practicing. If one practice is religion, then he will be the beacon of hope for all humanity, rather than trying to collect collect more people for his religion, to segregate more, to divide more. So I'm so against any form of unethical conversion, especially those group that using the religious vehicle not to help people, but to use their poverty, their vulnerability to convert. And that goes back to the notion that conversion is a mega sin in Hinduism, and probably Nagesh will explain further. So, and I with the 10 fingers together, asking all humanity, come together, let eradicate poverty. And together, doesn't matter yang itu putih ke, hitam ke, brown ke, coklat ke, tak kisah. Selagi ada perut yang lapar, selagi ada anak yang belum lagi boleh berpelajaran, kita tolong dia dengan ikhlas. Tak kisahlah agama kita, agama mana pun, semua agama menghendaki kita membuat perkhidmatan yang betul-betul ikhlas daripada hati, bukan dengan niat di sebalik perbuatan kita.
Okay,
that's what
Arun, that's basically 200% with you. And I think one is unethical or any kind of cheating. We don't condone, we don't agree. I'm with you on that thing. And if we disagree in that sense, you cannot give your parting shot. That's basically my parting shot. We can disagree until, you know, the cows come home, whatnot. Macam ni, we don't agree, banyak benda we don't agree. But at least, you know, if there is still a people who are still hungry out there that need to be fed, we need to feed them. If they need to be educated, we should help them to the best ability. To me, that's the purpose of life as a human being. And religion should not be, you know, something that we fight over this thing. No, like even in Islam sake, you know, I think that's the Quran, if you can quote chapter 5 verses 48, basically, you know, you talk nicely, but if you disagree, it's okay. You said basically, you must fastabiqu bi khairin. Ndaklah macam Arun cakap tadi, we race against each other to help other people. I mean, we disagree. So whatever disagreement, let God decide between you and me in that sense, you know. Because I cannot say you're wrong, I'm right in that sense. No one can say that, you know. So that is one thing. If we disagree in that sense, we leave it to that, and you know, and we feed the people, the poor and the hungry and whatnot. Okay, and I guess probably you also written something on that conversion of sin. I also want to know. And then
Okay. So regarding the conversion is sin.
Yeah.
Actually, when I was searching for the title online, I couldn't find any topic on that. I only found that conversion is sin in Islam or Christian. Yes, they mentioned that, but nowhere Hinduism, nowhere nobody mentioned. But along the way in my life, we always face some problem, and people approach us and talk about their religion. And I myself at one time started to think whether, as I'm born as a Hindu, am I able to or can convert to other religion? So from there, I start to search. I search and found out, actually in Hinduism it's clearly mentioned that you cannot convert out, because when we born into a particular family of faith is chosen by the God. The God made us to born in a particular family of faith. So we cannot deny that. So when some of the friends approached me, at one time I asked a friend, he's a Christian. Then I asked him, who created, he always come and approach me about the religion at one time, okay? So I asked him, who created you? So he said God, okay? And then I asked him, who created your parents? So he said God. So in that sense, who created the entire thing? He said everything by God. Then I asked him, who created me? So he said the God. And I asked him, who created my parents? So he said, a God. So I asked him, your God himself chose me to be born in particular faith of family. I didn't choose. So I was chosen to be born into the particular faith of family. So in that sense, if I listen to you and convert out to other religion, your religion, so am I going against the will of God? So am I a sinner? So we just use this basic logic, and we can understand that it is definitely God won't able to made a mistake. The God which know where to put the sun, he able to put the moon in the right place. How come the God can put you in the wrong family?
Okay.
So this is a basic thing we use, but in our scriptures, yes, it is mentioned. It's mentioned in our scripture. Mentioned you won't get moksha. You have to come back again. And then I can list you a few. I think 5 or 6. I already mentioned in my blog. Okay, it clearly says it's a conversion is sin. Okay.
Okay, thanks. I guess it's very clear. I think this is quite a common answer that I also get from my Hindu friends. It's basically God has made you in such a way, and sorry. Okay, okay. Of course, there is. Tapi ada juga ini. I mean, some other friends said macam, you know, they kata problem. Where you start is not none of your fault. But where you end, probably something that you have to be responsible on that through your own experience, through your own searchings and whatnot. And of course, this is belief from Muslim. They said everyone was born pure, but it's only the parents that raised them into a Hindu, into a Buddhist, into a Muslim and whatnot. But when they are, you know, intelligent enough, when they are grown, so they must be able to make their own mind in that sense, in terms of searching for the truth. If not mistaken, one of your siblings also, I think, is it converted to Islam, Arun?
Yeah.
You told me, yeah. So how do you see that? Whether that is a sin or how?
Okay, I see again. See, who am I to judge again? And he was. See, I am not against as much sin or not sin. That's another matter. I believe in again freedom of choice, right? So each and every person have the right to choose whatever they want to be. They want to be an engineer, they can be lawyer, they can be. But my problem is go back to unethical conversion. If one person today decide, okay, he want to convert to Hinduism, wallah, by all means. But I should not use his poverty or his ignorance to propagate my religion. That is wrong. That is what I'm against after. So if an individual with a wise mind, okay, choose to be whoever you want to be, whether atheist too. I have a lot of friends that are atheists. It's up to them. I am not there to judge they are right or wrong. But I know one thing is wrong. When a person's hungry, you should give them food. Yeah. When a person is denied of education, we should educate regardless whatever the faith and religion or the nationality of the person. That is humanity. That's what I stand strongly.
Okay, thank you, Arun. Like I said, I'm 200% agree with you. I mean, kalau nak we raise and tolong orang lah, in whatever form, hungry, education, and also, I mean, Islam is also agree in that sense. You cannot cheat. You can be a killer, you can be a rapist, you can, of course, it's also against, but you cannot be a liar. You cannot be unethical doing that. So Islam is very, I think there is one hadith Prophet saying, but dia cakap he likes to fornicate, no? But he said, okay, fine. Since you want to do that, but provided you don't lie. So every time dia buat, dia tanya, did you do that, you know? So lama-lama dia malu and he stop doing that. So you cannot lie in that sense, is very clear lah. Macam you cakap, kalau you have that freedom to choose. Macam Bai pun cakap that you can investigate the truth, independent investigation of truth. What is really the truth? And that is basically coming from my belief as Islam. I just want to share with you. On that part, I totally agree with Arun, whatnot, no problem. Macam Christian, macam Islam, Abrahamic religion, dia ada the concept of heaven and hell, you know. If you just share it. But it's how you believe in that sense. So whether that person wants to embrace that, how you think that is the truth, but you cannot claim that is the truth. You know, using our mind, we are capable of, you know, analyzing that, and we choose. Because of course there is consequences. You know, if I really believe in what I believe, Arun, Nages, you know, I really believe in heaven and hell. Let's say I truly know that I'll say I'm going to heaven. You know, probably some other people going to hell. Even my own kids, even my own siblings, no, will I not say something about that, how I believe? As long as I don't cheat them, I do it in dialogue, in a respectful way, I think that's supposed to be a spirit. Otherwise, I'm not a human being. If whatever that I believe that gives me values to whatever I am, that I don't share that. I think Christianity is the same thing on that thing. Yeah, Nages.
You see, we use the term belief.
Yeah.
We always use the term belief, you know. So a belief does not require a proof. You understand meaning? A belief does not require a proof. But let's say you follow some scientific things, you need a proof. You understand now? So in many ways, we believe about a God. So we are, as Arun just now said, we cannot judge anybody, because if you anyway you see, look at the Hindu idols. Most of the time they're holding that their parangs, everything, right? You see the Hindu gods always were holding the parang, the sulam, all this, right? So that shows what? In the end, the punishment or that execution of punishment or the judges is the God. We leave it to the God to punish or judge. So we human, we are not able to do that. So we leave the role of the God, leave it to God. So we cannot judge another person's keimanan or whatever.
Correct.
At the end, the person himself have to pay for his karma.
Okay.
He is answerable there.
Thank you, Nages. I just want to wrap up this thing. I know I don't want to, kita okay, cuma orang important macam Arun, he got so many appointments. People are waiting for him, man. People are waiting down there on the first floor. So I just give him probably 1-2 minutes. He will just want to wrap up this thing before, yeah. Arun, over to you. Yeah, your last words on this thing.
Okay. Definitely, as a Hindu person, I'm feel very blessed to be born and to be raised in a Hindu faith. And again, every faith is very special, and the faith is not measured measured by the way we preach to others, but the way we practice with others. Okay, and eventually the beneficiary of all faith must be humanity. The day that humanity suffers because of any faith, that is the day that you have insulted, you have betrayed, you have belittled the faith that you belong to. And that one I believe strongly, because the faith is meant to condition us to bring the best out of each and every human being for the betterment, not only for you, for the entire humanity. The day that you see that you are any higher, any better, any righteous than others, that is the day that your belief dies in you. And I'm so happy that my faith teach me so much about humanity. And I really hope that all of us, even the fingers are not the same. Even the two eyebrows is not the same. So this is the faith. So we all have to come together. The common denominator between us is humanity. The humanity is connected by the virtue of love, and the love can make us more prosperous and live in harmony. Thank you. Vetrivel Muruganukku.
Yes, Nages. Thank you, Arun, for your, I basically, I'm okay with that, and I subscribe to that. Yes, for most of it. But it's just that it's very deep. We can have it tarik, then we can discuss more.
Yeah, I really wanted to have, I thought I'm being very renkas, okay?
No, the problem is this is quite very deep topic that one itself is that you really have to go to. I'm subscribed to that. Whatever that religion is supposed to basically make this world a better place, to serve humanity in that sense, And it's not religion, it's not something you said, but something that you practice, to the sincerest possible way. We can have discussion on that because I think you are a bit philosophical and that thing. I'm glad to have you. Yes, Nages, sorry.
Okay, yeah. So as a conclusion, so first I want to thank Sharul again. So give a good opportunity to share some of Hindu values. Okay. So as a conclusion, I can say, you see, Hindus generally believe every single thing, every single moment, every single thing is decided by the God. So they said, avan indru oru anu asayadu. That means without him, there is no single atom is movable. That means everything is happened because of his planning. So for Hindus, see, there is thousands of Hindus converted to other religion. Actually, Hindus are not bothered. I myself, we actually are not bothered because the karma, he is holding the karma. Okay, so we don't, kita tidak tanggung dosa dia. So kita tanggung dosa sendiri. So that's why we don't really bother. Like Arun said, the unethical things where which is we are not happy lah in that sense. Okay, but basically the scripture says you shouldn't okay. And anyway, it's a good sharing, and I hope the viewers also learn something, or if I made any mistake, sorry for that. Yeah, so actually there is no, I'm not intention to hurt any feelings. Okay, thank you, bye-bye, nandri, vanakkam.
Andre. Okay, thank you very much. Especially those audience yang patiently waiting. Dia tak boleh nak get involved sangat. But to the both speakers, my friend, Brother Arun and juga Nages, thank you very much for sharing your belief and whatnot. I totally enjoyed it. Probably we can have another session that you know. As long as I say I'm really open for dialogue, no problem, and any issues. And as long, you know, kalau kita tak agree, at least we can work on the good things. Okay, it's just that next week I have another session, Boon Talk Show at 9 p.m. On the 3rd of April. It's basically Hakim Dihakimi. I don't know whether you heard that the magistrate which was supposed to dipenjarakan, the Firdaus Ramlan. So I'm going to interview him. He come out with a book. So basically we're going to go through the book next week. And the week after that is basically Sikhism. And 2 weeks after that, we got Buddhist, and then Protestant. After that is basically atheist, and lastly, basically Islam. For those watching, Arun, Nages, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you here. And, you know, with that, thank you very much. I love you 7 billion times. Stay smart, stay fair, and stay awesome. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Saru.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And also my apology for any mistake that I made, you know, if I hurt any it's not my intention to do that. I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
My kisses to all with love and lot of passion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you guys. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.